Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our In the Inbox series. We are answering question 112 today, question number 112, which was asked to us by Larry. And Larry was here in town. We were looking at properties for him, and there was nothing on the market that he really liked. But as we were driving by, he'd see a parcel there, a parcel over here, and he'd say, I like that one. Can you find out who owns that one for me? Or what about that one up north? Or he found a parcel and then he wanted to know who the neighbors were. And usually, for those of us from North America, you think, yes, we can easily find that information. We can go to the public registry, we can get the contact information. So Larry was saying, is there a public registry here in Belize? Is there a public registry here in Belize? That would make this so much simpler, so much easier. We'd be able to contact the person that owns the property to see if they're willing to sell. However, in Belize, that is not quite the case. That is not quite the case. We do not have a public registry here with the contact information of who owns the property. Now, if you want to know who owns the property, you can get a title search done, typically through an attorney or a closing company, but it's pricey. It's typically about $250 to $350 US per title search that you're doing. This is something that attorneys and closing companies will utilize during the closing process to make sure that the offer to purchase matches the name on the title. But this is not necessarily a standard practice here in Belize for seeing who owns the property to negotiate to see if they want to sell or not. A lot of times it's just asking around, asking the different brokers, asking different agents if they know who owns this property or that property. As you build a rapport with the different agents here, they'll tend to tell you a little bit more information than maybe they'll tell the average person, but we do not have that public registry. So this is really important for you to note. I know sometimes we just assume that they would have it because that's how it is in our home country, but it is not like that here. So please understand that when you're coming down to Belize, if you see property that you like, you can ask your real estate agent. They may know who owns the property or may be able to get that information, but please don't get frustrated if they don't, because that is information that is not easily accessible or accessible generally to anybody outside of that office. So please bear that in mind as you're going through the process. But again, let your real estate agent know what you're looking for, let them know what you like, and then hopefully they'll be able to find a solution for you. So if you're planning to own real estate here in Belize, please reach out to us. This is a resource guide that you need, not just this resource, but we have a ton of others that are great for you to be reviewing if you're a foreigner looking at real estate here in Belize. A lot of tidbits, a lot of in and outs that you really should know prior to purchasing real estate here. We have an incredible team also here in Belize that is guided to help you and make sure you're finding the property that most makes sense for you. So let us know what you're looking for. Let us know when you're coming down, and our team would love to show you the ropes. All right, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next session of In the Inbox. Bye-bye.